Thank you so much for stopping in. Today I'm doing another of the new series after the 3-year mission is at hand. I'm calling it the next steps. So we'll see if that's what I end up calling it. But this is the transmission I have for you today. As we begin this trail with you, we speak to you from the realm of energetic changes. Energetic changes that have effect on all of humanity upon the earth realm. Those in physical form, you who hear our words, all of humanity, have free will. This is intentional in order for you to learn for your soul growth through the experiences you choose to have. This does not change. Having free will does not change. The galactic energetics are changing. All of humanity are together in this change. It is a matter of when one decides to willingly flow with the changes as the energetics adjust. You will begin to see more and more people who have been sitting on the other side of the table in opposing thought. Begin to see you in a different light. They will begin to sense those things that you have already come to know through realization, through conspiracy, through alternative sources. They are becoming aware of the manipulations, the hidden agendas. There is much division amongst all people of humanity, with very little middle ground agreement. This is the change we focus to today. It is true, those in the controlled manipulation mode have great resistance to the coming in energetic changes. They are less willing to accept what is coming through their free will decision. Thus, this is an individual process which takes the necessary time. Those fixed on how fast, how soon will have disappointment in seeing changes, to prove things are changing. They will be disappointed because it is not fast enough. I think they've said that before. Much is happening below the surface, within the human psyche, within the minds and hearts of humans. When they begin to see what has been happening, what has been perpetrated onto them, there is an extreme emotional reaction. This is a volatile experience for them. As in all things, the emotional reactions experienced will be mild to extreme, individual to the person. This change is galactic. The change comes from the galactic positioning of the earth realm within its universe. The continual movement of all the planetary engines within your system, and then I wrote solar system, enter into different areas of the universal system. This entering provides other influences that become present when your realm begins to get closer to the earth. The earth knows this. Its inhabitants are generally surprised by the changes. The changes take many human years to come to be. The energy comes to simple awareness in a growing fashion to the people. From simple awareness comes general awareness. then comes simple changes, then general changes. If the change is control of the populace, the change comes into your Earth's energetic field as a simple thinking, then a general thinking. That's an example. As the galactic positioning of the Earth realm moves farther along, the general awareness becomes more integrated into the minds and hearts of humanity and begins to become a simple acceptance. As the simple acceptance builds amongst the people, the influence becomes full acceptance. From full acceptance comes the reality. It comes to be how humanity thinks, feels, acts, behaves, treats others. Applied to any topic. So how it comes, the reality is comes to be how humanity thinks, feels, acts, behaves, treats others to any topic, applied to any topic. Thus, if one does not conform to the normal way of thinking, which has taken generations to get to, then that non-conforming persons, groups, become the other side, those who need to be combatants. The opposing side, us versus them, the brainwash. Humanity is entering this energetic change because of your galaxy's movement. Then your universe and the energetic influences through your universe and the energetic influences the Earth is exposed to in that location of your universe. So we're exposed to different things at different times based on where we are going around. The change is always from acceptance of manipulation of thought away from control, away from elite maneuvering information, away from the establishment of the truth movement, away from royalty, away from dominance. That's where we are now. We're in that. We're going from dominance to something else. This requires many generations to formulate to the head where people recognize what has happened. It takes many generations for the cycle of your Earth within your galaxy and within the universe your galaxy resides within the process. Move through. It takes many generations to process or move through. In turn, internal. I saw 2 more pages. Oh, geez. In turn, it also takes many generations upon the Earth realm to transit out of the influence once the peak of the sector is reached. The influences that your Earth transits through, albeit an extended amount of time, the influences, the issues, the sectors are many at any given time, and they layer. We speak to you about your current exposure at this time because the confluence of a number of very intense influences is coming. This confluence creates extreme turmoil within the emotional state of humanity, primarily because humanity has been ensconced for multiple generations, ensconced in the head ruling over the heart, in all aspects of human life. Rational head dominance dominant thought was deemed to be the only way to process emotions, information, planning, or structure of society groupings approach. So head ruling over the heart was the way it was, the rational thought was deemed that. To any and all subjects. Creating a thinking that heart interpretation of any and all subjects was an unreliable, undesirable approach to process emotions, information processing, and planning. Nuts and bolts, Six Sigma, metal structure, cold, uninviting, strict, hard, became dominant. This culmination has peaked and is now on the downward of strength. In the paradigm you are exiting, intuition was not acceptable. A knowing from your heart was unacceptable. Believing what you were told, believing what was repeated and repeated and repeated became the norm. Brainwashing. Any other thought, any other direction was not acceptable. Throughout the process, over multiple generations, any other opinion other than the controlled positions were delegitimized routinely. As this delegitimizing activity persisted, it gave those in charge the accepted reasoning to expel any who did not conform to the correct way of thinking. All others who stayed out of the crosshairs of the correct way of thinking became fringe, little to no voice, their word suppressed, pushed to the sidelines, fringe. We come forth to you so you are aware of the transition happening. We come forth to you so you are not caught up in the transition of age drama. We remind you, it has taken ages, generations to reach near the peak, which is where Earth is galactically. As the influence of the past generations begin to cross over the peak and into the descent of strength, the coming energetics begin to take hold amongst the minds and hearts of humanity and begins to pick up speed towards the eventual peak influence. This also takes many generations, yet you will begin to see the gravitation towards the earth energetics transition as it builds and builds in energetic resonance within people. Gradually, humans of all walks of life in every corner of the earth realm, will sense the resonance change, experience the outrage that they were kept in the dark, that they were lied to, that they were fooled. They will react to the resonance change from their own individual perspective. Individuals are reacting. Small groups are reacting. Individuals are reacting. Small groups are reacting. Large groups begin to react. Education begins to react. Cities, states, provinces begin to sense the change. Governments follow. Countries follow. Eventually, this all comes to a peak, all in a unique timing. All do not peak at the same time. Currently, within your cycle, you are moving towards improved conditions for many, many generations. It will be tumultuous in the time being as humanity makes adjustments. All right, that's where it ended. I want to do a review. I did make some comments earlier. So one of my comments was, we have been in dominance controlled energetics, and we're moving out of that dominance controlled energetics into I said opposite. We are moving galactically towards acceptance. We are in this age transition that we're in. It sounds like we are going from a dominance over others, a dominance, head-focused, head control behavior that we've learned over generations and generations and generations. So we're leaving the dominance, the dominant energy, the need to be dominant, into acceptance of all of humanity. So we're moving into an acceptance energetic changes. And we've been reminded before that every day gets better. I mean, even though it takes generations, as we keep going, where there's nothing we can do about it. Our galaxy is in our universe and it's moving around. And there's nothing we can do about it, but being aware of it really helps. Even though we are going through, even though it's going to take generations and generations and generations, thousands of years to peak into the acceptance energy, the heart focused energy, the intuition energy, it still gets better and better every day. And we are here at this time to be at this stage of it. And they're also telling us it's going to be tumultuous. There's going to be a lot of insecurity. There's a lot of people coming into the realization that they mentioned, and they talked about it in the last transmission I did a while ago, a week or so, that it's a surprise to so many people. Yeah, you have been going through this new age stuff, or this conspiracy theory stuff, and this alternative media stuff, and you've been hearing it for a long time, and there are some people who have never heard it. They've never heard about it, and it's a surprise to them. It's surprising, it's shocking, they don't have any foundation. And they're telling us that is something that you can look forward to. Anticipate before it actually happens. It's happening now, but they're giving us some heads up, or whatever you want to call it, about what to expect. What to expect is coming. So we have to go through that. Even though you've already gone through that, there's a lot of other people that have to go through it. And from that comes the reveals. That's all I have. But I do want to tell you that a couple of years ago, I got a visual. I've shared it with some people, but I haven't shared it with too many. I got a visual of our galaxy and our universe. And I'll share it with you. I've got to get it. I've got to find it. But and then I'll share it with you so I can show you pictures of what they showed me. Plus, on top of that, when I was 20 years old, I was shown the universe. Oh, anyway, that's what we have for today. I'm starting to get more and more solid transmissions like this. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you for stopping in. Please like and share my videos, and stay tuned because there's a lot more to come.